Anushka Jha, and today with us we have Manish Bhatt, who is from the Scarecrow team. Hello, Manish. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, hello.
Okay, so we are here to talk about the new campaign, that is the Mexican chilling campaign for the brand Gopal Snacks, which has been conceptualized by the team Scarecrow. So, Manish, before proceeding, if you could just walk us through the campaign, how did the conceptualization, the storytelling, the anthem, and everything came together? If you could just emphasize on that.
Yeah, so when Gopal Snacks got in touch with us, and we started an association with them, what happened is that we studied their legacy, which is traditionally a namkeen brand. But that namkeen brand has a one particular subcategory, which is wafers, is one of the most important category because generally, ethnically, traditionally, we have, we consume namkeen. I mean, every part of the country would have a different type of likings. When it comes to food, you will have always a like a jhalmuri in Bengal or, a gatia in Saurashtra. So there will be different liking and choices. But one universally accepted format of namkeen, one can say, or snacking, is one can very clearly say that it is wafers. And so we collectively decided that, I mean, they earlier decided that, they want to focus on wafers. And all, I think all players do focus or special focus on wafers. Now, the wafer focus, what happened is that wafers are slightly, due to advertising, due to format, due to the acceptance, it is always slightly cooler, slightly urban, youth appealing format. So what they first did almost 2 years back, before bringing Scarecrow on board in 2022, they launched Christos. They launched Christos as a sub brand of a wafer brand, especially for the urban youth and Gen Zs and millennials, basically. However, they didn't do any organized advertising efforts. But they did launch it, and they had four flavors, basically: salted, Korean barbecue, African mint, and Mexican chili. Out of that, their conviction and their general response of consumer to Mexican chili was very, very, overwhelming and very, very encouraging. So they decided, when we were, the first subcategory when we supposed to advertised, we decided that collectively that we will focus on Christos to start with. So we will be advertising and doing communication and creative solutions for all other subcategories. But let's start with Christos. And then when we started with Christos, their conviction is to, uh, like, how some of the food and confectionery and certain category focus on only mango flavor. They had a, like, and especially the founder, Bipin Bhai Hadwani, he had a conviction that let's focus and let's gamble on Mexican chili only, because it will give a good response. And then that was the starting point, that okay, Christos Mexican chili we need to communicate about. Now what we did is we studied and various brands and also youth. So it is all about occupying space, like Lifebuoy, occupying the space of Tandurasti. Volvo stands for safety. Coca-Cola stands for happiness. I think the brand needs to have some space, and also in food consumption, it will be good if we associate with the occasion. Consumption with an occasion, like how कुछ मीठा हो जाए is an occasion based Cadbury's positioning. Or let's say Kit Kat, who says have a break, have a Kit Kat. So we generally thought that one thing which is growing and expanding in terms of the mindset of youth is chilling. So we took chilling as a focus, that okay, whenever because youth wants to chill I mean, in all occasions. So, and the chilling is like today in 2024, a youth wants to chill, let's say 50% of their routine. Uh, Next year, it will be increasing. Like their work timing also will have a chilled out office spaces, chilled out, co-working spaces, chilled out, kahin gaye or, we work from that, and also, uh, find space from work and go and chill out somewhere. That's very, and in general also, doing chilled out activities during the day is always a liking of youth. So we thought that whenever a youth feels like chilling, the food companion they can have is our Mexican chili flavor of a Christos or a Christos at whole. So we felt that let's do some nice wordplay or like combine these two, that Mexican chili and chilling, and that's where we kind of came up with the unique ownable quirky space for youth, urban youth, Gen Z and millennial, Mexican chilling. So Mexican chilling, what is it? How does Mexican chilling? Well, how do you qualify it? So we thought that we need to, like, sometimes when the Mr. Bean must have started, it is his kind of humor. When Laurel Hardy started, their kind of humor. There is Charlie Chaplin, his kind of humor. Initially, everybody may not have understood what space they want to occupy. But then over a period of time, everybody knows that, okay, there is that type of humor. So I think we thought that we can own a space. Mexican chilling is a quirky world where the activities, the mannerisms, and elements should be a very quirky, interesting area, and we own it. So over a period of time, we can gain out of it. Doesn't matter, it's not like a fly by night sort of a campaign. Let's do something which is long term. And that's where we thought that instead of doing a campaign for a season or something, let's create a world for the brand. And also, then brand world would need its own cult elements. Like, let's say there would be an anthem, there would be a styling, there would be activities, there would be a kind of humor, or the dialogues, the language. There would be also a hero of the world, and that's where we came up with a character called Christopher. And we were studying, and we understood that there's not a single um, uh, organized effort happened after Onida's Devil in terms of a human mascot creation. There would be sporadic attempts, but there's nothing which is systematically has gone like Onida, which happened in late 80s, basically. And that's where we thought that it's an interesting newness, freshness in it. And yeah, I mean, there are mascots which actually in the form of CG, animation, illustrations, and caricature and all, but there's not a human mascot has been carried forward. So we thought that, okay, it's a good idea to create Christopher, who's a chilled out guy, who's champion of chilling. You can say it's charismatic. He's basically, loves music. He loves punning. He would love, have a Mexican English phrases. He would strum guitar. He would shoot a pistol. He would, so all his activity would be very his own and his ownable, unusual thing. Yeah.
So you have actually answered my next question, but if in case you would like to add on to something. So as we all know that we live in a the celebrity and influencer dominated era, and you guys chose to go ahead with a human mascot instead, a human mascot particularly. So what decision was it to create the Christopher for this campaign, and how did this his character take place in this era?
Yeah, so I think, see, we do spend this disproportionate amount of time, or sorry, money, and efforts to, you know, get the endorsement of something. Now we feel that the endorsement, real endorsement, is the endorsement of emotion and and the emotional spaces. So what we endorsing is the space of chilling, act of chilling. So we taking the human emotion endorsement. The person is just a uh, just a just a just a phase. So let's say if I compare this with Coca-Cola's Santa Claus. So people say that, the way the Santa Claus is, like a red cloths, white beard, the topi, and all those things, and that appearance has been built by a Coca-Cola ad in the past, and Coca-Cola created Santa Claus's appearance. Now, what probably that when someone must have drawn for that ad, they must have all someone in mind, some character in mind that might be a real person, because even god goddesses pictures, everything which has been drawn, there is always a someone in mind while someone is drawn. Now that person may not be there, but the spirit of Santa Claus still says that, okay, there's a white bearded graceful old man comes and gives you goodies, gives you surprises, gives you happiness, right? So I think that has been carried. So now anybody wears that red cloth, a white beard, and that cap. I think people feel that, and the brand, or sorry, that entire spirit of Santa Claus. Even after a century, people feel it the same way. So the idea is that we instead of taking an endorsement of one person who has a certain life, let's get an endorsement of an emotional space, and let's build a character which is just a character which is right now we took Pratik, but it may in spirit will continue for the brand for longer period, and the way the very ownable costume, mannerism, humor, style, everything which is so ownable that the brand will benefit after decades, I guess. And that was the attempt.
So moving ahead, would you like to share the brief which Gopal Snacks shared with the team, your team, and how did you ensure it was effectively catered to the campaign? And additionally, if you could share some of the, BTS or sneak peek, some fun elements from the making of the campaign.
Yeah, so I think first and foremost, when they say they want to advertise Christos, and then they specifically said Mexican chili we want to focus on, we deliberated and checked that other attributes of the wafers. Because wafers in which category, which player is which competitor is doing which way. We thought that what are the need gap, what is not been done, what has been done. We charted all these things out, and we also came up with some other uh, attributes which can be, or benefits which can be leveraged, and even though we knew that, and even though we cracked Mexican chilling as a world of Mexican chilling, we did record the music and everything, still we thought that, okay, let's do something else and check it. We deliberated that. We took this is the neem ka dhua to organic way to get rid of the smaller insects. Yeah. So the thing is that, so we deliberated that, and then everyone unanimously came back that, the flavor is the most important thing to start a brand's communication, because the tongue comes first in all aspects when it comes to food. So we gave the importance and the kind of priority to the tongue and the flavor, and that's where we chose that Mexican chili pe hi kaam karte hain. And that was the very simple brief. We tasted it. We kind of and then we created lots of puns, lots of rhyming, lots of alliterations and we created a bank of phrases, and then from there we kind of edited it to be a hummable lyrics. And then from there we approached and created a song with Aman and Suman, and Aman as a composer, Suman as a singer and all. And then we created a scratch song with the client's permission. So that made the whole thought more alive. And then we said that okay, this is the way the character should be. We did a lot of sketches, lot of storyboarding, lot of ideas and thoughts, and we told what would be the chilling. We listed down lots of things, that okay, what could be the chilling, what could be the Mexican, what could be the chilling, what could be the Mexican chilling, what could be the, we studied the culture also, that okay, that because when we do in Reliance, we do series of work which is culture based jewelry and stuff like that. So we have practiced, like we did 7 culture based. That's more about Shringaras and aesthetics and beauty and personal accessories and all. But this is more of a food product. But still, the culture, when you leveraging the culture, you should know that. So we understood mariachi, we understood the Spanish music they use. We tried to get into a lot of nuts bolts of the culture, and then build something which is ownable for our brand. Yeah.
Since you mentioned that Christopher is going to be like a mascot for the brand, the sub brand that is Christos. So, but when the brand portfolio expands, so how do you plan to integrate the mascot with the new flavors? As you mentioned, there's going to be new flavors from like right from African, American, Italian, and so more flavors. So, and how do you ensure a cohesive brand identity across all the product lines?
Do you see, like, let's say we talk about the prime collaborator of this campaign, which is Rajiv Rao from whatever Exogilvy, and now the director of Nirvana. So, if his example only say, how did the pug of Hutch, or Orange or Hutch generated? It was just one campaign for network. Like Vodafone and Hertz and all had a lot of thing to communicate to. It's a large telecom brand, but they focused on one campaign. And when they created Hertz, they came up with that ad of a boy and a pug, that dog. Uh, it was not it was quite organic that they did, and then that has carried for the whole brand in many other views.
Okay.
Even Zuzus were done for IPL, but then people liked it. So I think it's a two-way process. It's not just creations of things are not like what only creators prowess. It is also consumer and the viewers and the general audience and target audience also participate into it. So like right now we launched this character called Christopher, and he's Mexican chilling and all. I think i think see, when see, all you need is a brand's cool quotient, brand's affinity, brand's likability, brand's adorability. If you do that, you don't need everything to communicate. Basically, see, we have a huge cabinet, but there are few ministers who interact with the external audiences or the people, right? Even like there are lots of players, but someone is a captain. So I think we just using this Mexican chilling and Christos and Christopher and Mexican chili and Mexican chilling as a thing to interact with people. When you know, okay, this is a good brand, and the mother brand is Christos, and the Christos come up with more flavor, you don't need to communicate the same way with all flavor like that, right? So like that. So there's a lead campaign. So all these things are not preconceived right now. We don't want to preconceive it. We just wanted to organically move with it, because focus is also sometimes give you a little new way. If you just get confused that okay, I want to, it's like that, someone confused with 5 things, so you want to flash 5 things together. If you have a nature, you will have a lot of facets of yourself, but you will call yourself something. Right. I'm a bold person. I'm a shy person. I'm an introvert. That would be one attitude of yours would be known to people or interact with people or become face of you. So I think like I'm not only into jungles, or I don't necessarily have to do what I'm doing. But that now maybe some more people will know me like that. But that doesn't mean that I don't have other in areas of interest, or I don't have other facets like that. So we will, I think, organically move or progressively understand where consumer is asking what is the thing, and then we'll take a decision there.
Since you mentioned that the campaign is particularly targeted for the Gen Z and the younger target audience, so which platforms in particular are you planning to focus for this campaign, and what other innovative strategies do you guys have in mind or planned to engage more within this demographic?
So I think right now we not kept TV. Uh, Rest all will be there. Right now, what we doing minus TV, because we thought that the millennials and Gen Zs will list watch and also press. So press and TV right now we have not really focused on. Rest all is there. The way we look at it is an integration between multiple mediums. It's a is that common thread. It's not just the color of one brand, the brand color, or some border or something or whatever. It's just, or a font. It is more than that. We have a brand mascot. We have a music. We have a culture. So there are lots to tie. So there'll be a lot of integration. So the brand mascot who works in TV may also go on ground and meet people or do activities in colleges or malls or some marketplaces and stuff. So we will try to integrate and innovate and do a guerrilla way, because no budget is a great budget. Every time you have to make a good efficacy out of it, and hence I thought that maybe we should kind of you know uh, create a cross between different mediums.
Okay, so talking about the ad industry in particular, how is, according to you, like how is increasing use of AI impacting the advertising industry, and how is AI like impacting the process of the advertising industry, advertising agencies, and what influence do you observe having it in this entire ecosystem?
See, even while choosing an AI did help us a lot in two things, couple of things. Let's say if you see the this arch or a gate arch, which you say they're saying world of Mexican chili. Uh, if you just do browse through and see, okay, what would be the a beach kind of places, establishment where you have an arch or a signage or whatever. So we took AI's help, where we generated a lot of things which is actually prompted through the different, I mean, the Mexican culture and stuff like that, and then the chilling and all, and we got a lot of options, and then we took all these options and created our own basis the result came. Similarly, even the character of the 200 character auditions we did. How do you choose that? Okay, who's the Mexican looking guy? If we take a real guys, you might get influenced by a particular guy, that okay, I want to look like Al Pacino, I want to look Tom Cruise. So we didn't want to do that. We want a common face, which is a Mexican character. And hence it helped that we generated some AI images, and then we compared that with the real auditions, and whoever came closer in terms of appearance, I think we took that person.
Again, talking about the ad industry in particular, what are your observations on the ad industry's performance for the first half of the year? What did you observe? What were the leading things, and what are your prospects for the outlook for the ad industry in the second half of the year?
So second half of the year is the first half of the year has lot of sports. The second half year of the year would have lot of festivity, some movie launches. Olympic came somewhere in between. So I think see, general interest is going like that. In between, there was an election which has its own vibe and mood and stuff. So it was a very interesting year where lot of thing has happened. Uh, but then year is an year. I think we still the brands and the creative work which we do is more longer lasting than these years and the half of the years and all. So I would say no need to bother about the thing. Yeah, you can get an opportunity. So suppose we would have been ready with the stuff before T20, we would have used T20. Now we've not got, so we thought that okay, we'll use some other occasions and stuff like that. So I think the opportunities can't govern the creations and the solutions. Opportunity has to be tackled, and of course it's been seen. It's more a commercial aspect of it. Rest I think is I think we if we are patient and we educate our clients and our team, then I think we can go beyond that.
Okay, so as we all know, you have been in the advertising industry for over a decade. I mean, for 3 decades. So, if you could share, like, how has the industry over the years been evolved, and what are some of the biggest changes that you have witnessed, and how does Scarecrow impact? How does Scarecrow adapt to all of these shifts?
However, the change has been little too fast in last few years. So what has happened in 500 years has happened in 50 years, and 50 years has happened in 5 years, and 5 years thing has happened in 5 days. I think it's just rapidly accelerating. The changes are accelerating, and that is a and the human evolution, who is the center of it, or I would not say it is the center of it, or the entire um, ecosystem nature is in center of it. But if we believe that okay, it's our world, suppose a human, then it's just that it is evolving in the same speed as it is evolving.
Okay.
But what our world which we created, the commercial world, the material world, has due to technology has and the facilities it just creates, and especially the virtual world has create an illusion that things are more convenient, more good or more better, whatever it is. Technology and the digital technology in accelerated our a world around us. However, we have not evolved. So I think it'll backlash and it'll come back to a normalcy, and people will not, kind of be in a quest of that change. However, in a year, you can't see and measure and kind of use that. Hence, we at Scarecrow trying to do something, whether it's training, whether it is the kind of work which we do, we're trying to create and set examples that there is nothing lying only into build buzz, which is overnight, which is like a moment marketing, which is not like, so it shouldn't be an opportunity led world. It is a creation has its own, a pace and deliberation, I think. And let's be patient with creations and create something which is long lasting, is what we're trying. Second thing is we thought that the craft is something which is getting, threatened, endangered, because people, it's equally proportional to time you put in. And I think that is another area we keep on pushing our people to this thing. And our differentiator is our formula. That is our sticking point. That's where people get attracted, I think. I think that is what we're doing and attempting to.
Okay, I would really like to know your take on like how are your team planning to prepare the requirements for filing out for the SDE, that is the self declaration mandate.
Self-declaration is, I think, is under debate, because it's see, bigger the agency or bigger the client, the bigger the problems. So I think we are in the boat where everybody is in. it's impractical at this point of time unless there's an amicable way to do so. And I think, see, governance would see it from that perspective. So they will always try to do something which is from their perspective. They might be right in their perspective, but I think there's other perspectives also, and I think they would. So it's under discussion and debate. I think we will do what, like, there are lots of rules we live with which are different and new, and I think we've been adjusting to that. I think even that will get adjusted some point.
Okay, so lastly, just the last question. So, what do you see? Like, what are the key focus areas for Scarecrow for the upcoming 2 to 3 years? What are your plans for the year ahead? If you could emphasize some of that and share some of the key focus areas.
So I think we when we did a 9 year, when we were celebrating our 9 years, I said in next 9 years what I would do. So I would say that, uh, see, at the end, human relationship, emotion, and all those things, emotion is going to get endangered over a point, because we are all trying to the society is empowering the individuality, and in that case, what is the a human to human thread is getting kind of affected. And I think um whatever is so people are like, social media tells you are the hero and you have followers and subscribers, you stay, you watch things alone, the platform says that, solo trip, solitude. There are lots of things which is actually trying to empower the individualism, and hence what is happening is that making people self-sufficient. The flip to that is that the community and the relationship and the emotions which we build between each other is obviously getting currently you know endangered. Now I would say that, we born like alone only, and then we build and created this relationship and thread between us. I think it will prevail because we all will miss that. That okay, we are now not living in community. Now not we are not living in harmony, not living in tandem, not living with building relationship and emotion. So that will be, so whatever is not there going to be more precious. So we thought that technology makes you cold, makes you at the end lonely, and what will be missing is the emotion. So m- some year down the line we wanted to say that we are the champion of building emotions out of communication. And I think that is the a new niche, and that people would pay for that in future, and I think we would concentrate on that. And I think maybe we might do something which is probably a world would need then.
Okay. Okay, so that's all my questions. You have answered them very well, and thank you so much for your time. And it was a really insightful session.
Thank
And hope to connect with you sometime soon. Okay,
you.
thank
Sure,
you.
sure. All the best. Thank you.
Yeah.